All good to resume our progression on this playlist. No point looking for this super in a shop, driver. The only one way to get this Motorfest edition is to finish on the podium. One question. Can a drift car race street cars? Get ready for a duel of the schools. Drifters versus street racers. Your opponents won't just be names on a board anymore. They're waiting for you on the grid with their street rides. Lamborghini Aventador with extra attitude. Not your average Lambo.
first race. And we finally meet our street enemies. This is gonna be interesting. Good job, keep them away. Your drift car is powerful as hell. With so many horses, they'll try to run wild with every acceleration. So hold your reins tight. The street racers are just waiting for you to come off the road. That's how you do it. I make a pretty good co-pilot. Maybe I can be useful. Expect a big turn sequence in now. That was a great move.
See how a drift car can challenge street cars now? Every turn you encounter becomes an advantage that others don't have. Belongs to a line of traditional racing champions, the Skyline GTRs. These cars were game changers in the 90s. Monsters created to win absolutely everything. The R34 you're about to drive is a worthy descendant.
Enjoy the show. Drift Team 1, Street Team 0. Nostalgic for our Wangan moment. Whew, you already know the car. But this one, what style? You're giving the competition a real fashion lesson. When you manage to drift this bulky bodywork, it's just magic. style or tight drift for speed. Your choice. Both are impressive in their own way. I believe in you. Long slide incoming. I believe in you. Come on, you're almost there. Second to last race, Drifter. That's it. Drift cars over street cars. I'm running out of things to teach you. Maybe I'll just enjoy the show. The Skyline. Oh, I'm nostalgic for our Wangan moment. Whew, you already know the car. But this one, what style? You're giving the competition a real fashion lesson. When you manage to drift this bulky bodywork, it's just magic. Tight drift for speed. Your choice. Both are impressive in their own way.
to train one last time, follow Waimea Valley. The mountain road will take you to the climax. There is no other word for the next car. Besides being a natural-born drifter, this car is just the most precious thing in the world for your host. No need to say more. You already know the car and what it's capable of. We just couldn't go with any other car for the last drift versus street race. The RX-7, a drifting emperor.
Again. It's giving me goosebumps. Even more so with this new style. The bird is ready to leave its nest. What more can I say? Well, maybe one thing. Show these guys what a true drifter is. Be careful, there are a few more like that. See you later.
What's up?
Make sure to get your vehicle reward, driver. It was so cool to see you get stronger as the playlist went on. You can be proud. Drifting is a discipline of precision. Winning an event is tough. So winning a whole playlist, it's more than just dumb luck. Challenge. Now it's up to us to keep our promise. The Toyota Supra Drift Edition you got to know in the volcano is waiting for you. Once you get the car, go rock it on every corner of the island. There could be more drift challenges to come. You better keep hold of that mojo, driver. Playlist cleared and ready for takeoff, driver. New playlist ahead. Let's go. it gradual. By now, you've shown your drift prowess. To experience drift. The skills you've acquired in your first run will now be tested. The more difficult the challenge, the more beautiful the sights get. coming up. Around a monumental lighthouse with a slick new Toyota Supra. The reactive powertrains and slick handling of the Toyota make it the perfect fit for apexes. Get a chance to try out the Supra's sister car. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because all the right elements are there. The speed and the luminosity. Good luck. Going to get a spotlight, but the lighthouse is an iconic location. stay that way much longer. Ramping it up. It's meant for experienced drifters only. You do qualify, driver. You're going to have a modern classic to command, the Nissan R34. Spoil the discovery, but this drifting legend is everyone's favorite, and a movie star to boot. contraction will serve you well, if you know what you're doing. Driving is not the only movie star here, driver. The location is quite iconic as well. Up a notch and changing gears. If you like the Nissan, things are taking a different turn. Switching from Japanese to European, the car waiting for you is an engineering marvel. It does have a Japanese counterpart, the Toyota Supra. Have you guessed it yet, driver? nature you're about to start. Drift racing. And now you get to demonstrate how the power of your car matches the powerful sights of nature. Manoa Canyon tends to take one's breath away. Let's hope the hum of the waterfalls will soothe the roar of your engine, driver. Risk and reward, driver. produced sure obscured some of the sights in your last run, but your keen eye catches everything. Referred to as the best of the best. Make your way to the tag quick, because you'll be making some curves with the Lamborghini Murcielago. Driver, the urban sprawl of Honolulu mixes well with dim-lit escapades. Don't get distracted by the allure of the city or the weather conditions. Keep your focus on those combos. certain you enjoyed that particular ride, but you will need to keep that expert touch for what comes next. It would be a shame to not continue this trend, driver, so Motorfest have prepared another supercar for another all-star performance. The McLaren 12C is a perfect vessel for what you're about to attempt in the docks. Too much of a hint? Let's see where the road takes you. Is that too much of a hint? This harbour before, but I'm sure the sights of those majestic ships never get old. Pearl Harbor is your oyster for this run, driver. Make it count. automotive just got bumped up, but the car you're going to be driving is not a typical drift affair. This is a car with a fine-tuned steering system that gives amazing feedback for every twist and bend in the road. An American classic, a Chevy. And as far as Chevrolets go, this is a very sporty iteration. Driver. Resort. Let's provide the guests there with a spectacle they will not soon forget. If you can spare the focus as you rake up the points, take a look at the lovely gulfs and the sea. Absorb the views, enjoy yourself. been an exhilarating experience, driver. It all led to this point. It stands to reason that the car you get to drive for the final challenge should be your reward. The Mazda MX 2016 will be your crowning glory, and you will get to leave skid marks all around the famed Motorfest Observatory. It's the perfect drift machine for you to take on this last hurdle. Good luck! Motorfest thought that the second drift experience should crescendo around the observatory. Not only is it a landmark site on the island, but you also have a striking view of the volcanoes. Indulge us with your excellence, driver. Get it this time. your reward. Your vehicle is ready for you to claim. Enjoyed this refreshing revisit of all that is the drift experience. It's been a pleasure to watch your smoke curtains. As promised, the Mazda you so capably danced with is yours to keep. Take a cruise to the container and claim your prize. Just what you can do with this majestic vehicle. Now show everyone else at the Motorfest. Enjoy it. Good choice. Ready to go? Cars are much more than just vehicles. And around the world, no cars evoke more emotion or generate more fantasy. Cars. Motorfest is producing a movie, and they're offering you the chance to be the lead stunt driver. You're about to meet our movie director. He'll pitch you the whole thing.
We're rolling?
Yes.
All right. What's up? I'm Rick Martinez, filmmaker, action designer, visionary.
The entire movie crew is expecting you soon. Ready for some on-set action? Let's move on to another activity. Today, you're not just a driver, you're an actor too. In a movie produced by the Motorfest, driving a car is as much a part of acting as delivering a line. Your first co-star will be the 1968 Austin Mini Cooper, selected by our in-house mechanic and car consultant, Kaya Khanna. We're here. Rick will tell you everything you need to know about the scene. Good luck out there.
Hey, can you move that camera to the right? No, a little bit more to the right. All right, we're behind schedule, people. Let's move it. Let's move it. Hey, you. You're finally here. Welcome to set.
All right, my friend, this is our first scene, so let's get one thing straight. Sure, your job here may be driving, but you still need to get into character. I want you to feel the scene, you hear me, champ? Remember, Jones. You're a small-time thief, you just robbed a pawn shop, and you got a bunch of goons on your tail. Get yourself out of this mess and drive like you mean it. This is really happening to you. That lane on the road is called the video lane. That's where we need you to drive to get the best shots. Every time you see one of those, you follow it. Don't think twice. Come on, you got this. This is your character's everyday life. You're used to that stuff. Get on that lane right there. It's critical for the shot. Oh yeah, this will look great on camera.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. How's it going?
Hey there, welcome to my set. Terry, this is our car consultant and mechanic, Miss Sakana.
Yeah, call me Kai Man. Hi driver, how have you been since our little vintage garage experience? You did that playlist, right? So for this first scene, we got you an Austin Mini Cooper S. Maneuverable, lovely. This car's such a fun ride.
Fun ride before the high ride. Here comes the first big stunt. You're gonna lose these guys with this next move, Terry.
I see what you're thinking. Okay, driver, better gun it if you want to make this work.
Nice! With that move, Terry's out of the woods. Just a few more seconds, and it's in the can. Cut! Looks like we got ourselves a driver, and a freaking hell of an intro.
Great start, Terry Jones.
To be the leading driver for a production like this. I hope you're getting into character, because we have a whole movie to make. Partner, a 1970 Dodge Challenger. Another car that is no stranger to movie sets.
right, buddy. You've made quite the impression on these first shots, but we're gonna need to confirm it wasn't just a fluke. With this second scene, the plot is thickening. You got scouted by the local king.
So again, in this scene, things get real for Terry. You're facing Big Johnny's #1 guy, Mikey the Maniac. The big boss is putting you to the test, and you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. You gotta beat that guy.
This is exciting.
I know, this is brilliant. I'm going for the long take here, my friend, so I want your focus all the way. The guy in the black car knows how to drive, and I told him to go all out. I want this to feel real, so go for it.
You've got your own directing style, don't you?
Long shots, real feel, real pain. That's how Oscars are won.
Okay, Leo. If you want to please our friend Rick Scorsese here and make that scene look awesome, you gotta use that Dodge right.
That's right.
This is a Dodge Challenger RT first generation from 1970. This car is a monster among oldies and it ain't afraid of anything. The RT actually stands for broken track, so don't worry, it won't let you down.
I do dig the dirty car stuff, but what matters is it's badass. That's why I picked it.
You mean why I picked it?
Whatever.
Watch that next turn. Your car may be versatile, but you still have to adapt your driving on dirt roads if you don't want to end up in a ditch.
The ditch is not an option. Battle of guts between Terry and Mikey the Maniac, and the chance for Terry to reach new heights. Give me everything, and don't be scared of playing dirty. It's a brawl.
Chattanooga? Really?
Oh, come on! Come on, Terry, you're skilled and determined to nail this test. The job is yours.